What's up guys, Stitch Productions here, and today we're doing another Ricsan Custom Toys review, and today we'll be looking at Ricsan Custom Toys Final Wars Ankylosaurus, or Final Wars Anguirus. Now, Anguirus is one of my, I guess not my favorite, but a tie-in or kaiju that I like a lot, and I always like seeing the character show up in media. My favorite design of his is actually the one from Singular Point. I really hope Ricsan could eventually make a figure of that design, since that's a pretty out there design for Anguirus. But having a version of Anguirus was something I always wanted, and Ricsan had this one or the Raids Again version, so I chose this one. So as you can see, the packaging just has a nice picture of the Final Wars Ankylosaurus on here and on the bottom, and we even have some photographs of him on the back. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it for the packaging. Let's move on to the actual figure, shall we? And here we have the Ankylosaurus out of his plastic prison, and I gotta say, this is pretty nice. It's definitely way different than the other ones that we've looked at. I'd say this is probably the heaviest Ricsan Custom Toys figure I've worked with before, and I gotta say, it looks very nice all around. Although my biggest criticism of this figure is the color scheme itself. I don't remember Anguirus being this gray and blue in the actual film. Not to say that I don't like the colors. This seems like the type of color scheme I'd imagine a retail figure to have. So I still like it. If I want to do custom paint work, I can. And of course, as I always mention in all these videos, Ricsan Custom Toys figures are all resin printed, so this is not as, I guess, durable as what you'd imagine a Hiya Toys or SH Monster Arts figure to be. So I would just recommend playing with caution. I would just recommend playing with caution, you know, being delicate with the figure, but it is very durable. So for posability, head can move left and right, can look up and down, mouth can close and open. Arms can kick forward and back, has a swivel here and a swivel here. The feet are at a kind of permanent, like weird on the knees pose, but each one has a swivel, and there's a swivel at each point of the tail. So yeah, Anguirus isn't really a character you really need to have a lot of posability, so I was not expecting this to be like a hyper posable figure like the Godzilla-saurus, but I still think the posability on this figure is very nice. So, I guess this figure doesn't really come with any accessories, but it does come with these two trading cards, actually it's the Raids Again Anguirus, which, you know, I wish we could have gotten a little card of this guy, but I guess these weren't in production at the time. But that's about it for the actual figure. Let's move on to the size comparisons, shall we? For size comparisons, here we have the Ricsan Custom Toys Final Wars Anguirus with Hiya Toys King of the Monsters Godzilla, Hiya Toys Godzilla vs. Kong, SH Monster Arts Gigan, Monstrous Minds Amulok, Ricsan Custom Toys Varen, and Kevin. So what are my overall thoughts on this figure? Well, I highly recommend it, honestly. I doubt we're ever gonna get a Final Wars Anguirus figure, and I think this is a great figure that, you know, does everything that you'd want from a Final Wars Anguirus. Has some great posability, great paint, great details all over. I might even consider painting this figure up to make him look much more premium, but out of the packaging, it comes out great, and I highly recommend it, and it looks great next to Goji. I honestly want to get some more Anguirus. I hope they make a version of the... hope Ricsan can make a version of the Singular Point version. That's one of my favorite designs. Or maybe even a Monsterverse version. Who knows what Ricsan Custom Toys is going to do in the future, but I look forward to seeing what he does. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys have this figure, leave your opinions down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.